Hello and welcome to Learn to Drive the Easy Way. I'm approved driving instructor Michael Gambin, and I'm going to show you how to drive manual, automatic and cars fitted with disability controls in the easiest way possible. So sit back, relax and enjoy. And remember to hit the subscribe button underneath to see all of our videos. So what we're going to do is show you how to pull away and stop in a manual car. So the two routines that we're going to use is POM, prepare, observe and move or maneuver, and MSM, mirror, signal, maneuver. Now POM routine is what we use when we're pulling away from the side of the road, but also on maneuvers. So it's a quite common routine to use throughout your driving career. The MSM routine we use when we're parking, but sometimes you can use it for turns as well. I tend to use a sort of broken down version of that, but we'll talk about that on another lesson. Now, when it comes to manual car pullaways, a lot of people panic, okay, because they hear about the term stalling. Now, as long as you do what I'm going to show you now, I promise you, you will not stall, okay? One of the biggest reasons why people panic and stall is because they don't put enough gas in, or they're too harsh with the clutch. The clutch is very delicate, so as you put your clutch all the way down, what happens is you separate the clutch from the flywheel. So if you imagine this is the flywheel and this is spinning, and this is always spinning as long as your engine's on, but when your clutch is down, you're separating it. Now what happens is no power is therefore being transferred from the flywheel to the clutch to the wheels. But as you bring your clutch up bit by bit by bit, the clutch gets closer and closer to the flywheel until it touches. And as it touches, that's your bite point. Okay, so there's three things that tell you that you found your bite point. Number one, you'll hear the car go quieter. Number two, you'll see the rev needle drop. And number three, you may feel the front of the car lift if you're in a forward gear, or the back of the car if you're in a reverse gear. So POM routine, I'm going to put the slides up now. So these slides will last for 4 seconds, so just hit the pause button in between them and then take a screenshot, and then we'll go into the video after. Okay, so what we're going to do now is show you how to do that pull away and stop. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is that POM routine. So we're going to prepare the car first. Now, the tip is to use petrol. A lot of instructors, especially if they're teaching in diesels, advise not to use gas. Now, I advise not to, okay, and to use the petrol. And that's because of two things. Number one, it lessens the chance of a stall. But the second thing as well is it allows you to pull away faster. But it's not the gas that actually allows you to pull away faster. It's because it will allow you to bring the clutch up a bit higher, which means that you propel the car faster. Now, if you think about the engine as a spinning top, if it's spinning nice and quick, it stays upright and it will carry on spinning. But as it starts to slow down, it starts to get a bit wobbly. And then if it slows down a bit too much, it then topples over. And that's a stall. So by putting the petrol in, we lessen that risk of the stall from happening. So I'm going to show you twice, once on a flat road and one on an uphill. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to put the clutch all the way down. Now, by putting the clutch all the way down, it will now allow me to select my gear. So I now push the pressure to the left, then up. You notice I don't grab this gear lever, it's a palm of my hand pushing it across. I then select a little bit of gas around 2000 RPM, so I put my right foot on the right pedal and get a little bit of gas going through the engine, so you can hear the engines making a bit of noise but nothing excessive. I will then bring my clutch up to the bite point, so when I feel that change on the engine, so you can see I'm not bringing the clutch up particularly that fast, but as soon as I feel the change, I then keep my feet still. If I carry on going higher than this, that's when I'm going to risk a stall. I will then do my observe to make sure it's safe before I pull away. I'll indicate because there's a car on the right hand side with its headlights on, and I will now release the handbrake. And you can see I'm keeping my feet still, but I steer to the right slightly, and now I bring my clutch all the way up. Now to park, I'm just going to check my rear view left mirror, left signal. You can see I've already come off the gas pressure. I'm going to bring the car over towards the curb. Now because I'm in first gear, I'm going to put my clutch down first before I then brake. If I'm in second or up to fifth gear, I will brake first, then clutch. Handbrake goes on, into neutral, cancel my signal, then come off my pedals. So I'm going to show you exactly the same thing. This time it will be a hill start. And you'll notice that I'm doing exactly the same thing, and that's the advantage of putting that little bit of gas in, is that it just becomes routine for you. It's the structure, so it stops the fear of a hill start, which a lot of people go through. So I'm just going to park on the side of the road here. And I'll do exactly the same thing. So clutch goes down into first gear, a little bit of gas into the engine around 2000 RPM. I then bring my clutch up until I feel a nice change on the engine. Because I'm going uphill, I want to bring the clutch up a little bit higher than normal, but I can still hear the gas. If it goes quiet, that's a bad noise. You can hear it starting to vibrate a little bit. It doesn't sound particularly that healthy. So by putting the gas back in again, just eliminates that stall risk. So gas, clutch to the bite point, 7-point check, making sure that it's safe, signal, and handbrake off. Steer to the right, and I'm keeping my feet still. I wait until I hear the engine go a bit louder before I then bring the clutch all the way up. Now for a gear change, the timing is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 1 is clutch down, gas off, 2 the gear change, 3 and 4 is the clutch coming back up again before I then put the gas back in. Mirrors, signal, bring the car to the curb. Now this time, because I'm in second gear, I'm just going to use a little bit of brake first before I put the clutch all the way down. I then allow the car to stop completely before I put the handbrake on, into neutral, cancel my signal if it's still on, and then I can come off my pedals. So I hope this video has helped you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, which will be for left turns emerging.